Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and today I'm going to be demonstrating the Mountmellick Stitch. I hope that's how it's pronounced. Mountmellick? Nick. In any case, this is a stitch that I used on my Cookies Delight quilt, and then I completely forgot about it until yesterday when someone sent me a photo of this amazing looking stitch in this fabulous variegated thread. And she said, "What is this stitch?" And I said, "I have no idea." So I posted it in various groups that I belong to involving hand stitching and embroidery. And immediately someone said, "Oh, it's the Mountmellick Stitch." I think it's Mountmellick. In any case, it was really wonderful to rediscover it. And so I decided I have to do a video on this because it's a really cool looking stitch. It's a little bit like a crested chain, but it has a spike to it, a kind of spikiness to it, which you can change depending on how large or small you want that little spike. So I'm going to go ahead and show it. And as always, in a variety of different threads and thread weights. I hope you'll come along and explore this fabulous stitch with me. I also then found that there's a variation on the Mountmellick stitch, and it's called the Mountmellick thorn stitch. And so I'll do a demonstration on that stitch in the next week or so. But two really cool looking stitches that can be used for a whole variety of different things. Don't forget to hit that like button, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell that pops up for email notifications, and I love hearing from you. Leave me comments in the comments section. Don't forget to check out the description section where I'll leave links to all the different threads that I use in this video. And there's Merlin. Grab something to stitch with, grab a needle and some thread, and let's get stitching. I'm going to use my silken pearl. This is gilded lavender and my 24 chenille. So I bring my thread up and just draw a chalk line here. So I've come up here and then I'm going to come right down. I'm going to bring my thread through like this, and I'm going to get this diagonal line. Now I'm going to go under this diagonal line. This is a little bit like a crested chain in that I'm going to come here where my thread first came out, and I'm going to bring my needle right under where this thread is coming out, and this thread is going underneath. It creates a little chain looking stitch. Do you see? I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go back down just as I did before, and that makes my little diagonal line. I come through with the back of my needle, this, and now I'm going to take my needle into that stitch and I'm coming out right here with my thread underneath the needle, and it creates that little chain. Now I'm going to exaggerate this so you can see the sort of spike on it. So there's that. I take my needle and I pull through that diagonal stitch. I'm going to take my needle into that chain. I'm going to come right up to where that stitch is going up, and I pull through. I do an even more exaggerated. My diagonal. I'm going to come around like this. I'm going to put my needle through that chain. Come right up underneath, pull my thread through, go up, come down, pull that thread. I'm going to leave it a little bit loose because I want it to be able to come right down when I do this. I don't want it pulling my fabric. Now I go into that chain, come up with the needle above the thread. I can do these even closer together if I want. Back of the needle, go through that diagonal stitch, pulling it down, go into that chain, and coming up right where that thread with my thread behind the needle. I do these close together, bring my needle into that stitch, pulling it down, dropping it into that chain, coming up the thread behind the needle. All right, so there's that. I'm going to anchor it here. If I wanted, I could do the same thing going in the other direction. So I would come up right here, take my needle, I'm going to go right down into that straight line, take the back of my needle, go through that stitch, and then I make that chain go all the way up, come down, make sure that that thread is out of my way. I want that diagonal stitch to go across so that I can pull my needle through, do my chain. I'm going to do one last little leg here, the back of my needle down, making that chain stitch, and then I'm going to anchor my thread. And there it is. It's kind of a mirror effect, which I think is pretty. You could do it right in the middle of the leaf. I chose to do it at the bottom third. I'm going to show this to you in a heavier weight thread so you can see what that's like. All right, I'm using Painter's Soft Cotton with a number 18 chenille, and I'm going to go around my circle here. I come up, I'm going to take my stitch, and it creates that diagonal. Back of the needle, go back to create a little chain, keeping my thread underneath. Go up. I'm going to vary the height of this little spike as I go around. Kind of like the idea of it being different, not all the same. So I am going to now do my little chain here, and I'm going to end my thread, because I have come full circle. So I'm going to anchor my thread, and that is the Mountmellick stitch done in the Painter soft cotton, going around in a circle, which is pretty cool. I'm using Silk and Pearl Midsummer Vineyard on a 24 chenille. I'm coming up, I want to go right along the middle of my leaf here. I'm coming up right on the edge of my work. I'm going to do my first vertical stitch, coming right down to that chalk line. It's going to give me a little slant. I'm going to put the back of my needle into that slanted stitch. I'm going to pull it here like this. And now I'm going to go back to where my thread originally came out from, and I'm going to go just under that vertical stitch, making a little chain. Then I come back, I do my vertical stitch, coming back down to the chalk line, slide my needle under that diagonal stitch, go back into that first chain, and come up directly underneath the vertical stitch, like that, making a second chain. This vertical stitch can vary. You can make it short, you could make it all even, you can do what I'm doing, which is kind of echoing the shape of the leaf. You can do anything. You can stagger it. Some are short, some are small, some are long. Each variation on this, whichever you decide, will change how it ultimately looks. So I'm trying to keep these fairly evenly spaced, and I want them to echo the leaf shape. I'm going to use my Aurora, looks like that. It's a red of some kind. And I'm going to just use this straight line of this fabric, cotton fabric print, and I'll do my Mountmellick stitch there along that edge. I'm going to come up right at the corner, and I'm going to take my first vertical stitch. When I'm going through a lot of layers like this, I'm not going through all the layers, I'm just going through this top layer. You can go through all the layers, but I'm not. I just go through the top. Sometimes I'll go through all the layers if I want to create a more quilted effect. All right, so I'm making my first chain. I'm going to come up. This is my vertical stitch. It's going to create that slant. And that's what I put my needle through. And now I'm going to do my chain by putting my needle down through here, coming up where my vertical stitch is going. I make my chain. Now I'm going to do my next vertical stitch. And come through the back of my needle. I'm sort of loosely, I'm following the edge of this leaf shape with my vertical stitches. So I'm going to start decreasing their length as my leaf gets smaller. This is where I create my chain. I'm going to just decrease that vertical stitch. Here's my chain. I'm going to do one more right here. Back of the needle. Bring it out, and I'm going to end right there as I'm at my tip. And I think I'm going to do a back stitch around the rest of this in the same thread. I think that kind of is nice, balancing it out, and I'm going to do something on the outside in a different thread and a different thread color, but it's a nice way to frame that little insert. So as you can see, there are lots of ways of using the Mountmellick stitch. So here I have my in the circle, and here I have it in the silken pearl, just as a little straight line that I then mirrored and did in the opposite direction, and then I have it done here. So that's the Mountmellick stitch, which has tons of possibilities. It's a little like a crested chain, but you have more flexibility with what you're doing with these little spikes, which I think is really lovely. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and perhaps if you had never heard of the Mountmellick stitch, this sparked your curiosity and interest, and maybe you'll give it a try. I hope so. If you do, and you're in my Facebook group, you must post your experimenting on it with this stitch in that group. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what people do with it. It's a lot of fun. There's also something called a Mountmellick thorn stitch. I'll demonstrate that next week. Don't forget to hit the like button. Talk to me. I love hearing from you. Leave me comments in the comments section. And don't forget to check out the description section where I'll leave the links for all these different thread types. Until next time, here's to exploring stitches together.